acupuncture principles that really says that if you have a problem in the body, you have energy disruption. And they are non-transdermal, meaning nothing goes in the body. There's no herbs or medications or anything in them. They just have a little crystal solution that has a frequency attached to signal, kind of like sunlight, that is offered to the body. And if the body needs the signal that's embedded in it, then it will give it to it. It will take it. The body will take it. The action of it actually changes the potential of the skin to open up and be much more willing to move and have cellular communication from cell to cell. And they were invented by this genius, David Schmidt, that was working for a company that was a subcontractor to the Navy SEALs. And his duty was to make a energy enhancer of some sort. And he knew Tai Chi and Qigong and martial arts based on Chinese medicine. Oops, what was that noise? So he figured that he couldn't use supplements. There's way too much volume there. That all he had to do is keep the energy of the body moving. And then these sailors that were in these little mini subs for days on end, swimming miles and miles in the ocean and back to their sub and not getting much sleep, it would keep their energy going. So he came up with this idea because he didn't want to zap them with a supplement that made them have a high and then have them crash in a few hours. Just move the body's energy and it will keep you awake and alert and allow them then to do their whatever they had to do, swim and so on. So he came up with these patches, and this is what they look like. There's two different kinds. Some are 2 patches, like this brown and white one shown here. Others are just little white patches. They're all about the size of quarter, so this is enlarged. And they, again, stick with adhesive on the back. Once you're ready to put them on the body or the animal, you take the little paper back off and you stick them on permanently. How they work really is explained here, I think, in these pictures. This says more to me than a whole paragraph. I got it when I saw these pictures because this is the signal that kind of fires like a little sunlight burst, and when it gets close to the body can pick it up and use the signal. So every patch has a different signal. There's gobs of research on it. And so I've put this, ooh, what's that noise? I put this, and if it's one of my cohorts here, you can mute yourself if you need to. So feel free, to do that, and then you can unmute when you're ready to speak up. On the LifeWave page, just lifewave.com/research, and it will take you right to the many research projects that they've done over the years. Some of them have been done in this country, but many have been done in universities and research facilities all over the world. Over $1 million worth of research has been done on these patches. So I was challenged one day to go up online and see if I could find any natural medicine modality that has research like we do, and I couldn't find it. So I was impressed with that, as I think you will be too.
Now, Quila, I know you were involved. If I can just say, you were involved in some of the research with the company, and so I know you're very involved from that end on some of these. So we can talk about that, I guess, more around the glutathione. But I just wanted to add that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the very first patch that David came up with was the energy patch because he wanted to, quote, move the chi or the energy of the body. And so that's what this is. If you'll notice, it's red, and the little brochure that comes with it is red. All of the patches are color-coded. And basically what it tells the body is make more ATP. That's in every cell of the body. And burn it from fat so that you don't get a high and then come down. You just get this nice, steady Energizer Bunny energy. And it is a 2-patch system. A white patch and a brown patch like the ones I just showed you. The white patch says bring the energy in. The tan patch says take it out. And they're usually placed on acupuncture points, with the white usually on the right and or on the top part of the body and the tan towards the bottom. And every patch comes with instructions. Very easy to follow instructions with pictures. For those of us that don't like to read, we've got pictures that are very self-explanatory. On top of which, you've got this whole team. So if you have any questions, when you get any patches, you have questions, that's what we're here for. And we'll go over all these instructions with you personally so that you'll know just exactly how to use them to either give yourself more energy or move the chi of the body. Say, for instance, if you have, you're getting short of breath much faster as you get older. Well, then maybe the lung patch placements might help you open up that chest more. There's no... Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to add, this was the first patch that we started with 8 years ago. So for the first couple of years, this is all we had. And what we did is I went around, I basically started this in the ski business. I went and I patched people first thing in the morning. I'd go out skiing with them all day long. And people found that they had more energy, more stamina. They didn't get tired as they would normally in skiing. And if anybody skis, you know that sometimes you'll get to a point in a day where your legs won't hold you up anymore. And what people were finding is that they could actually ski all day long, much longer than they'd ever skied, and they weren't tired at the end of the day. And the next day, their lactic acid levels were low. So that we really started the business on. And then how we sort of started experiencing it with the animals, one of my Bichon Frise's, Kia, had some serious issues when she was 15, and we took her out to the cabin to basically, have the last weekend with her. And I was talking to Dr. Quilin and telling her, and she suggested I take the energy patches and put them on behind Kia's ears, white on the right, tan on the left. And I put them on, and she was sitting there, and she laying in her bed, and within 5 minutes of putting the patches on, it was like I almost, I gave her a booster cables or something, because all of a sudden she stood up, shook herself off, she was walking normal, and she lived for another year and a half. And I mean, that day she could hardly walk, let alone by the end of the day she was running after marmots in the backyard. And so that's when I really realized that this product doesn't only work on people, but all of these products can work on our animals as well, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I wish that we had recorded that, because Randy's voice was, teary and saying, "Oh my gosh, Quila, you should see what just happened." He couldn't believe it.
It was amazing.
Anybody else want to say anything about your experience with the patches?
Well, I'd like to save mine for the pictures that come a little bit later.
Okay. All right, let's go on. The next patch that they came out with was the Silent Nights patch, or commonly called the sleep patch. And basically what it's for is for those millions of people out there that have sleep issues and problems. There's no medication in it, so you don't get any kind of a hangover like so many medications give you. And it has a huge effect from some of our studies on the brain, adrenal glands, even your heart ventricles and your thyroid glands. So it's a very powerful patch. And in some cases, people have found that if using it on many of these points that come with the instructions, We usually have you rotate through these points, and if you don't get super good results, we suggest you might want to use some energy patches and maybe some of the detox patches that we'll show you here in a minute, because our brain is like a sponge, and we are so exposed to chemicals these days that we find that's why many people aren't sleeping well, is because of all the chemicals lodged in our brain cells. And so sleeping well, of course, helps you heal, and you will not be healthy. Many studies show that if you're not sleeping well.
Yeah, it's so important. It is, isn't it? And I know Linda and Robin, you've always been working so hard. And I last November, I got you to try the sleep patches, and I know you've had some good results. What have you found so far?
Well, I'm telling you, everybody who knows me know that I normally wake up around 4 and I read for a couple of hours, and that's when I get my studying. And so I thought it was really exciting to do that. But I don't get as much sleep. And since I've been using the sleep patches, I've just changed so I read before I go to bed. And
Yeah.
And I'm just amazed. I'm really surprised because I've had this for a long time.
And it's much healthier because you heal when you sleep. So, yeah, good change of habits.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, really, huh?
Yeah, I certainly use them when I'm on the
and
road.
especially
That
you're
makes a
traveling around.
difference. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Robin,
Well, I was going to say, I use them instead of, I used to take sleeping pills when I was traveling, and they don't only give you a hangover, they actually don't really work because you don't get the same kind of sleep, and I don't use them at all anymore. I just use the sleep patches, and I didn't think they worked for me to start with, but I just didn't use them enough times. I just had to use them a few days in a row first. So.
Yep. And that's why we are here to help you figure out how it's best for you to wear them.
Yeah, and if I can add something, I've always slept really well, and I wanted to just try them just out of interest to see what it would do for a person that does sleep well. And I started using them, and what I found was at night, I'll put it on the bottom and the back of the ankle when I go to sleep, and then if I wake up in the middle of the night and I am sitting there thinking, I might move it to the top position on the top of the big toe there on liver 3, and it'll help you just help me go back to sleep. So, and great dreams, wake up very rested, and I've just, even though I slept well, I just feel like I'm sleeping better now with them. So this is an exciting product. Like you say, Lila, is that the more we can sleep, that's when our body is healing, and the more better sleeps we get, the healthier we are. So that's great.
Well, and there are, go ahead.
Sorry. I really like the idea of switching them if you wake up. So maybe to suggest, I really loved your idea, and I use it all the time, of using the paper tape. I have it on right now.
Good idea. That way you're not committed and you haven't used the adhesive up on the back. You will find up online that many studies have been done on sleep issues now, and they're people that have a problem with sleep almost always get sick. Disease type, very debilitating situations occur with people that do not sleep good. Okay, next patch. The LifeWave, my favorite. It's so heartwarming for me to see somebody get out of pain, and this is our pain patch. It is the most remarkable because pain is so debilitating that when you walk up to somebody and they point to their area of pain and you get these patches on, which is a 2-patch system, and they turn around and say, what'd you do? What'd you do? My pain is gone. And they have a life-changing event at that point because they can get back to doing the golf, playing with the grandkids, riding their horse, whatever it is that they could not do with their pain. It's so heartwarming to see somebody and to see an animal who can't walk right because of maybe low back pain have within a minute or two, be able to walk across the room. Oh, there's nothing better.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, I know both Linda and Robin have had some great results with the IceWave. Maybe Robin, you can talk a little bit about what's happening in your house.
Yeah, and some of you that were on the call before heard about my husband who had a back surgery just over a year ago, and it didn't really help him, and he was taking handfuls of all kinds of painkillers. So, and the patches would help him get out of bed, but we didn't really, it didn't seem to take it away very permanently. And so after we went to the conference and we got some suggestions about how to use, like, not patch on the place necessarily where he was having the pain, but look at where the scarring was from the surgery. And he's never looked back. He has not used any painkillers, has not had to use any. His pain was always at an 8 to a 9, and now it is most of the time at 0. And it's getting better and better, but the best part is that he doesn't wear the patches all the time, and he can do so much more. He doesn't need to wear them because the pain is actually gone, and he can stand up, and he can actually pick up things and bend over, which he could not do at all. And so it's completely changed his life, really.
I'm glad you brought
amazing.
that up, too, because so many people ask, am I going to have to use these the rest of my life? And no, you're not going to have to use them the rest of your life. Your body now can start the healing process just like Robin's husband has.
And Lynn,
Randy, I want to talk about the pain that I had because some of our people were here last week when I called Quila because I was having such excruciating pain in my shoulder up into my neck. I was just in tears, and I had put the patches on myself, and it was a little better, but it wasn't working. And so I called Quila, and I mean, you just moved them like half an inch from where you were, and the pain was completely gone. And that was last week, and I haven't had them on now for 3 days, and I'm pain free. I'm just so grateful, and I know, if it comes back because of the computer, when I'm being much more careful. But if it does, I know I can get rid of it because it was really scary. And I went to a doctor, and he said, just get used to it at your age.
I'd like to just add one more thing here, Quila. About a month ago, I was doing a seminar, or we had a trade show booth at a chiropractic show in Las Vegas. And there were 8,000 chiropractors there. Over the 3 days, we patched close to 300 chiropractors that had back problems or knee problems or foot problems, and literally it was almost 100% success rate that we had within only a few minutes of patching these 300 doctors that are all in the pain management business. And we were able to either take their pain down to nothing, from sometimes a 8 or 9 or 10 down to 0, or at least be able to get a 50% improvement, which they were all extremely impressed with and happy. And that was literally within only a few minutes, and sometimes only a few seconds, as we know for those people that have experienced the patches before. Sometimes they'll actually work almost instantaneously, which is very interesting. But when you see those type of results over a 3-day period, almost 300 people getting pain relief by just putting these patches on, and we were only taping them to their clothing in the beginning. We weren't putting them on their skin, and then once we got the right position, then we'd put them on the skin, and we just had so many grateful people that were having to walk around this trade show for 3 days, come back and just say, wow, what an amazing product. And we got a lot of chiropractors now using this product in their clinics now, sharing it with their patients because they've seen such great results.
Yeah, yep. My experience also. I want to make sure you all know that there are instructions with these patches also, showing you in detail how to use them. Very simple methodologies that can be used in any place in the body. This is a overall any place in the body type method. Here's one for all over the body, those people that have pain in numerous spots. Here's some pictures and instructions for knee placement, lower back pain, and so on. So you will have support from us and all these brochures that do come with the patches. Even this one.
Twyla, can you just go back?
Sure.
Sorry, can you just go back to the first method, or the
Yes.
first page there, please? And this is basically the first way that we start off usually is the clock method, sort of like the T-touch. We put if it's newer pain, we'll put the tan directly on the pain and then move the white one around to 12 o'clock, then 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock.
Oops,
Move it
sorry.
around in a circle, and just have the patches about 3 inches apart. And then, and if that doesn't quite work, then you can always reverse the patches as well, so that you can put the white in the center and then move the tan around if you're finding that isn't working for people. And then the next step is to sandwich the pain. You leave the tan on the, sandwich the pain by putting the tan on the pain, and let's say it's on the back of the shoulder, and then you'll put the white one on the front of the shoulder, so you're actually sandwiching the pain, and we get some good results with that. Or another method that we do use as a last resort sometimes is we'll do a stacking method, where we'll stack a glutathione and an eon patch. But those are little tricks that we can teach you, that for anybody that has questions, or you've got patches you can't quite get them to work, feel free to call Dr. Quayler or myself, and we can definitely help you, with the process and teach you how to use these, so they really do work well for you.
Yep, you're not going to be alone.
That's right.
And here's headache placements. Headaches are very, very common, as you well know. All right. Here is the first patch in what we call the YH trio, the YH system. Glutathione is a substance that I had never even heard of when we came out with this about, I think it was 2005 or 6. And I'd never heard of it. And here I had been in medicine all my life. And it's made in every cell of the body, but it goes down if you're sick, and it goes down with age. That's what allows us to get all these wrinkles and all these so-called disabilities of aging, kind of like what that doctor was inferring, that, well, it's just your age, get used to it. But they found that if you keep your glutathione high, that you will have these wrinkles disappear. The skin tone improves pretty quickly, so that it's soft. The pores on my nose just tightened right up within days of starting to use it. And then your body has this glutathione made in every cell of the body that will allow it to do the healing that it needs to do in the cell repair. So this is the first patch that I was involved in, drawing some of the bloods and patching the people, taking their urine to watch their detox, because glutathione is your body's master detoxer. It gets rid of junk out of our body, and junk is often what causes our pain and many of our aging effects. So we see remarkable changes with people that are adding the glutathione to their regime, such as Randy just mentioned, with pain, to help the body get rid of the things that are blocking that energy.
And if I can add something here, what's really interesting, what I find, Quayla, is that, it's our body's master antioxidant. So this is what our body, so many people are buying drinks and different supplements and things to help get more antioxidants into our body, where we can literally put our glutathione patch on, and it will increase our glutathione levels up to 300% within the first couple of days of having the patches on. And this is literally, our best form to fight off free radicals is our own glutathione production.
There's nothing else out there like this. There is glutathione supplements and so on, but nothing does what our patch does. And we have gobs of research to back up showing that that is exactly what it does. It increases the cellular activity in the various cells of the body and increases that glutathione level. And here's some of the placements that they suggest. Acupuncture points, you can put them on to stimulate various areas of the body and raises the glutathione level in the whole body, not just, like in this particular picture, not just in the throat or chest area. When we did the research and we put the patches on the chest, we drew the blood the next day and the glutathione levels were sky high. So it doesn't matter really where you put it, you will get a total body effect. This is the second patch in the YH system. It is just like carnosine in that it goes down as we get older, and that's why we get wrinkles for one thing. We also get muscles that get flabby and don't have a good tone, because this is found in muscles and nerves. So this is why pain often accompanies aging, and carnosine is wonderful because it's found in nerves. You have to have it in order to build a new nerve, and so with pain, this is one of our additions, just like glutathione is, to help the body then heal the area that is blocked, get rid of the antioxidants, because this is also a huge antioxidant. One of these studies that we have shows that this patch increases the relaxation effect in our nervous system. So this is another thing that it does for us, and improves cognition, your thinking ability as we get older. Studies show that. Good instructions again. It's just like glutathione. No matter where you use it, you will get an increase in the effects of carnosine.
Excellent.
Now,
and I'm sorry, like you said on the carnosine, glutathione and carnosine, as we get older, our levels start dropping, and by just using the patch, we can literally have our body's own, it gives the body our own ability to produce more carnosine as well. We have a little background noise here. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds like somebody's coughing or something. But
yeah, and you can mute yourself. Mm-hmm.
All right, on to the next exciting
Eon, yes. Now, glutathione and carnosine give us a single signal. Make more carnosine if you need it. Make more glutathione if you need it. This next patch is a little bit different. It gives multiple signals. First of all, it decreases inflammation. We've done thermography studies showing, just like with this example here on the horse that has a lot of inflammation, 5-10 minutes later, the inflammation is way down. And that's exactly what the research on Eon shows. Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say, that's the interesting thing. Even if you look at these two pictures of the horse, if you look at the first picture, there's a lot of pain and inflammation, and then in the second one, this is only about 10 minutes after putting the Eon on, and look at how the head's dropped and it's more relaxed. And this is what I've seen, I've been working with a lot of horses over the last few months, and using the Eon just behind the eye, one on each side just behind the eye, or just a single one just in between the eyes, and we've seen some incredible changes in the horse, just their attitude and their demeanor. They just seem to calm down or even with dogs, putting it on their collar. Just even doesn't have to be on their fur, just on their collar. You can see a dog just calming down, as it does for people. And I've been using the Eon pretty much ever since it's come out. Pretty much always have one on. I leave it on for 2 to 3 days, and then I just replace it. And I just find I'm calmer in situations. I can sit back. I don't, kind of get, I just find it makes me calmer. I mean, it really does. And I've seen this not just in myself, but many people.
I was also involved somewhat with the studies on the Eon. When it came out, it was called the X15 patch, because David doesn't tell us what it does or anything. He just puts out the criteria and sends patches out to all of us people that have been in the research field with him. And we used it on thousands of people here in the U.S., those of us that see clients. And it was nicknamed the Happy Patch because we had mothers saying, even my little kids aren't bothering me anymore. And one lady even remarked, I feel like I'm back on my Prozac. I'm so relaxed.
Yes, and there's no Prozac in it. That's that.
No drug, no side effects. It's just wonderful.
That's right.
Yeah. But it does reduce the stress effects.
All right. Great.
And again, it comes with instructions where to put it. And everybody finds their place that they like the best. But again, you get total body effects no matter where you put it. And the instructions are very easy to read and understand. Now, this is the SP6 patch, commonly called the appetite patch, because one of the things it helps us do is decrease an overabundant appetite, where you're just eating way beyond the satiation or fullness feeling. This helps modify that so that you feel full earlier and you don't gorge yourself like so many times we do. It also helped me get off sugar, as it has many other people with cravings. And oftentimes people are using this to help them stop smoking or to get off drugs that they want to get off of. And we often work with this and the Y-Age and energy patches. When somebody is determined to quit smoking, for instance, they have a lot of toxins in their body. So we often use the energy and the Y-Age along with this patch. So that brings up a good point. All these patches can be used together in any combination that is best for you or your animal. And again, with simple instructions on where to put it. This is the only patch that is worn on the left side of the body. And again, it's a single patch. And here is some of our wonderful little four-legged friends. Do you guys have any stories behind these pictures?
Well, those were the pictures I was kind of waiting for. And this is where I was so impressed with the integration, the joining together of T-Touch with the patches, because the dog on the left has had a lot of work done with her over the years with physical therapists, and she was doing really well, except she did not separate her hind legs when she would step up on things. She was a little bit sensitive, did not want to be handled behind, really. And I just, before I started T-Touching her, I put the patches on her, and I was able to work all over her in a very different way. And what was really interesting is that her person said that someone said to me, well, don't they try to pull the patches off? And actually, Doggy said she thinks she loves the patches when she has them on. And she doesn't need them much because now she moves normally after a lot of years not moving normally. And the little dog on the right is one of my favorite stories. She was 6 years old, and in the hands of a really incredible person who has much dog experience, but nobody had ever been able to put a harness on her, and nobody had been able to touch her back. It's not that she'd do anything, she just would move away. And it didn't matter how, how accomplished or how careful or whatever, she did not want her back touched. And so, I said, well, I'm not going to try to touch her back when she doesn't want it. Nobody else has done. But why don't we just put those little patches on her? And I just put them right there on her hips, and I could put my hands all over her. And I call her my god dog now. So then, and she's still the same today. And what was just amazing is that the week after, for the first time, she was playing with the other dogs.
Changed her life. Yeah, changed her life. Well, this is the patch that, as a result of many years of us using these patches on animals, LifeWave came out with a special patch for, whoops, there's some background noise again.
Oh, I have to mute.
Okay. They're a two-patch system here called AccuLife that is geared towards relieving pain, specifically in horses and animals. It has also been studied and shown to improve the overall quality of life, just like the story that Linda just told you.
And if I can add something here, over the last few months, I've had a chance to work with John Chance, who was the LifeWave distributor that actually decided to really go after the horse market, mostly in the rodeo world, in the barrel racing, and he's patched over 18,000 horses now, and he's found some great patching placements. Well, it's not even patching placements. It's actually going through, finding where the horse has pain, and actually putting white on the right, tan on the left, as shown in this the brochure that comes with the AccuLife patches. By the way, the light AccuLife patches are only available in the U.S. right now. Of course, we've used IceWave before these came along, so a person can try these if you can get them. Otherwise, if you're in another country, you can always try the other product with it as well. But what we found is you just go through and look for the pain in a horse, and be able to, once you find it, literally, you might end up putting 3, 4, 5 sets of pain or the AccuLife on the horse, and within 5 to 10 minutes you go back and look for pain, and you can't find any pain at all. And the nice thing is, if you're using this before a competition, let's say, you're going to be able to have a horse that's much easier to work with. They're going to usually do much better, because a pain-free horse or a pain-free athlete is going to have better results than one that is in pain. And you've got a happier horse or a happier dog or a happier person, of course, when we can get rid of our pain. And that's what we've been seeing with the horses over and over. So it's very interesting just to see. There is a website, AccuLifeNow.com, that you can always go to just learn more about the patching of the horses, and there's some videos on there that you can watch just to get some ideas of how to patch. And the nice thing, the one thing, we do use a tape, and I'll just let you know what the tape is. Where this paper tape we're talking about is a 3M product that you can find in a pharmacy, and it's called Transpore, P-O-R-E, so Transpore 3M tape. If you get that, that's a great tape to be able to use with the patches on an animal, or with yourself, with a person, to just find out where the pain is first. And then, once you've found the pain, then you can put it, found the place to put the patches to reduce the pain, then you can put the patches directly on. Take the backing off. There's an adhesive. You can put it on the skin. You can even add a little bit of tape on it for a horse if you want, and you'll get great results that way. So the great thing about this product, we have 100% money-back guarantee. You can try the product for 30 days. If you don't see results or if you don't like it, there's no risk.